Welcome to another episode of Mom Talk. Today we have Victoria's aunt on here, Theresa Grubbs.
Hi.
Hey, thanks for coming.
Of course.
Okay, so how's she your Aunt Victoria? Because y'all are the same age.
Exactly.
Yeah. She's married to my uncle.
Okay.
My mom's brother.
Your mom's brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's my aunt, but her kids are like the same age as my kids.
Right. I feel like
And
we're
they're
all the
my
same age.
But they're my first cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is strange. And Sammy was asking how, this morning, literally, how Remy and Mason, are they my cousins? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course they are.
Yeah, but so is Victoria, their mom.
Yeah.
That's confusing for little kids.
I don't have any first cousins my age. Like, the closest one is still, 9 years younger than me.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like, my grandparents kind of have, sets of grandkids. Like, there's me and Carter. Then there's 2 more in the middle. And then there's yours. Mm-hmm. And then she had great-grandkids.
They're all spread out.
They're all spread out.
Yeah.
Which is fun. You get to be, a grandma forever that way.
Yeah, that's true.
True. Okay, but you have 2 kids.
Yes.
And what are their ages?
10 and 6.
Okay, so I knew Andrew, right,
Mm-hmm.
is really close to Henry's age. That's
Yeah.
what I thought.
Yeah.
Is he in 5th?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Henry's got one of those weird birthdays, so he could already be in middle school, but we didn't do it that way. So he's in 5th still. I got one more year in elementary.
Yep. He's in 5th grade and Sammy's in 1st.
How's she like in school?
She does not like school. Neither of my children like school.
They don't like school?
No.
I mean, I don't guess a lot of kids like school, but Emma doesn't complain. So.
No, they're not about the school life. They
Did
don't-
she like kindergarten, though?
Yeah, I guess she didn't really. It's more work in 1st grade.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so
yes.
she's like, what is this about?
I hated 1st grade.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel her pain with that.
She's not about the work life. She wants to play.
Because I really thought Mason would hate kindergarten, and he, loves it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, 1st grade's going to kick your butt.
Yeah. Well, we were really doing math homework with her the other day, and I was like, I texted my friend Lauren. I was like, is this 1st grade homework? Because, I mean, it was an easy question, but I thought it would be really hard for her. And I was like, what is going on here? Ask your dad. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know these answers.
No.
Well,
I kept out of homework a while ago.
I already told Mason, I was like, listen, I can help you with words, but numbers, Daddy's probably going to have to start helping you pretty soon.
Yeah.
He's in kindergarten, and I wholeheartedly mean it.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not for me either.
Okay, so we want to know about Sammy's
Okay.
diagnosis.
Okay.
I've heard some things through Victoria, and I feel like I'm a little bit more schooled because of Victoria's lung issue. But how did you know, with Sammy not feeling well, how did you know at the beginning something was different?
Well, Sammy was 3, and she kept complaining of headaches. And I was like, that's weird. Why is a 3-year-old having headaches? And they were like, just increase her water intake. And I'm like, okay, I don't think that's that. But we'll do that. And then we took her back in, and they finally put an oximeter on her finger, and her oxygen was 58.
Which is very low.
Very, very low. Supposed to be 99.
Okay.
And so we were rushed to Vanderbilt.
Were you surprised when you saw that number yourself?
Yeah, I was like, well, really, it didn't really dawn to me it should be 99. I was just like, okay, they just started freaking out. And I was like, oh, okay. So then we were at Vanderbilt.
I remember the day before, because this was right around Christmas, y'all had been at my parents' house. We were all over there. And you're like, oh yeah, we're taking Sammy for migraines tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, that is wild for a 3-year-old to have those kind of headaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody had something to that level on their radar.
No, for sure.
Because she was so active. She still is so active.
She's very, very active, but she just has low oxygen. And she has something that's called HHT. It's hereditary hemorrhagic telangiectasias. Basically, it's just malformations of the blood vessels. So she doesn't her oxygen doesn't flow correctly, and so that creates a low oxygen.
Okay. Did she have any other symptoms of just the headaches?
Just the headaches and purple fingers and purple lips, but I just was like, well, her fingers look funny, but
it wasn't crazy, yeah.
No.
Even if you told me that my oxygen was 55, I'd be like, oh, maybe that's normal for kids. I wouldn't know it would be that.
I didn't know it should be 99, and I'm like, oh, okay, they're panicking. So
yeah. So she got sent to Vandy then. Okay.
Yeah, and then we were there for 17 days.
17.
Yeah, and I think it really was. We were just there longer because it was over Christmas, and so the doctors weren't there.
Oh, I see.
And so we had to wait a lot. We were just kind of hanging out.
Did they automatically diagnose her with HHT, or did that take a while?
They did it pretty quickly. They did genetic testing. I mean, while we were there, they had diagnosed her with that.
Okay, so
within the
before
17 days, yeah.
Okay.
And she had surgery. She does have over 100 metal coils in her lungs to kind of make the oxygen flow the way it's supposed to go. Okay. So she did have one of those surgeries while we were there for that 17 days.
Okay. So what do the coils do? Like open up? Like
kind of just blocks like the hole in a way so that the oxygen can go where it needs to go.
Okay. So for HHT, is that like normal in kids, or is this like
well, it's hereditary, so I mean, if they diagnose it in children, then a lot of people go their whole life without knowing they have it.
Really?
And nosebleeds are really, really common.
Okay.
But Sammy doesn't get nosebleeds.
Okay, so she didn't have that.
So she just has them in her lungs. The malformations are common in the brain, the lungs, the liver, and the spine. But Sammy only has them in her lungs. But she has a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like, too many to count.
I was going to say, what's
the
typical
amount
for
she
that?
has is abnormal.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so she needed a lot more than typical.
Yeah.
So how did she feel after getting those? Like, could you tell an improvement?
So she's had 3 total.
Okay.
3 total embolizations. And the first 2, I was like, okay, it seems better. She's got a little bit more color to her. And then the last one, I'm like, it really didn't do much. So we have been going to Cincinnati and being evaluated for a lung transplant. I think that is the end goal at some point in her life.
Okay. Is that the doctor's end goal or your end goal, or you have the same end goal?
I think that's really the only way for her to have normal oxygen is a double lung transplant.
So now that she's had these 3 different times that you've had coils put in, what's her oxygen running?
About 72.
Okay, so still low.
Yeah, super low still. And then when she's active, of course, it goes even lower.
Right. I know Victoria mentioned sometimes, like when she has a bounce house here for a party, like have to be careful.
I'm like, okay, please don't go in the bounce house. But then she wants to go in the bounce house.
Right.
So then I'm just like, okay, let me just watch you.
Right. Of course she wants to go in the bounce house.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's still 6.
Yeah. She's like not about to not go in the bounce house with the other kids.
She's still living her life.
She lives her best life.
Good.
Even still, she lives her best life. And Sammy does whatever Sammy wants to do. She's not limited to anything.
Like what she's feeling up to.
Yeah. She did dance last year. And then we didn't do it this year.
Did she like dance?
Yeah, she liked dance.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't do it this year because we were just trying to figure out what was really going on with her with the lung transplant. But she did fine with dance.
I want to say she looks so much like Remy to me.
I know.
They do look alike.
They really do.
Sometimes I'm like, wait, I'll be scrolling too fast and I don't know which kid it is. They
really
really
do.
do.
They really do. It's kind of crazy.
Especially like with the hair up. I don't know. They're just like twinning.
Yeah.
Some of the baby pictures, I'm just like, dang.
Yeah. They're little besties too.
Yeah.
Aww.
Like, Sammy is so good to Remy. She treats her like a baby doll, even though she's 4 now.
Yes.
They're only like
still her
2.5 years apart, but still her baby.
Yeah.
So how was she at school? Are the teachers worry about anything?
The teachers worry, but the school nurse at Glen Ellen, Nurse Holly, shout out to Nurse Holly.
Yes.
She is amazing. She took the time whenever I was kind of telling her about Sammy to like kind of learn a little bit about what Sammy has going on. But you know, Sammy also is like, well, if there's a math worksheet on the table, she all of a sudden has a headache. She has to go to Nurse Holly.
Oh, okay.
So she also plays that, but she does fine in school. But I think that especially the gym teachers are like, whoa, what's going on with this kid? You know, like she looks purple. So she hangs out in the nurse's office.
Okay.
Once or twice a week for sure.
Okay.
Do they have like a time where they're going to call you if they notice something?
Nurse Holly normally just texts me now.
Oh,
She's
okay,
like, hey,
good.
girl, Sammy's in my office. And then she gets Tylenol at school for her headaches.
Okay.
So she's like, I gave her Tylenol. She's back in class. I rarely have to pick her up anymore.
Yeah.
Unless she has a really bad headache.
So she still has the headaches too with the coils? Dang.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
She's always had the headaches, but are they worse after her large head surgery recently?
No, I think that was just, that was just a fluke. I'm like,
Okay.
of course, Sammy, you would have this, it was I couldn't even tell you what it was called, to be honest. It's such a long word, but she had a tumor on her skull.
Okay.
That had to be
Of
removed
course.
as well.
Okay. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. So after all the first coils, now we have a spot on her head that you found.
Yeah, she said, I have a bump on my head. And we were leaving for Florida that day. And I was like, okay, well, did you hit your head? She's like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, we have to go to the neurologist anyways in about a week or so. So we'll just ask him when we get there. And so we get there and he's like, that has to be removed immediately. And I'm like, okay.
Of course it does, Sammy.
So then she had to have surgery on her skull.
Wow.
Yeah. But that did come back benign.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, and they did say that the risk of that coming back was like 0. He said 0, and then he's like, okay, well, let me say 1%.
Right.
So, I mean, that was just another thing that she had to deal with.
So where did that come from?
Who knows?
So she could have gotten that regardless.
Yeah.
Without the HHT.
Yes, I think so.
Oh, wow.
She's been through it.
She is a mystery, okay?
She is. Did they have to shave her head?
Yeah.
Where? Like back, front?
Yeah, like the back of her head. Like,
okay.
Really long, like that long.
I'm like, this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You did show me a picture.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
Victoria.
Because
Okay.
I could not believe it.
It was pretty gnarly. I was like, oh my gosh. When I took the bandage off, I was like, oh, okay.
What did she think? Could she see it or?
She did say, why do I have boy hair back here?
Yes.
And I was like, oh, well, it's growing back. Don't worry.
She has
Right.
such thick, like, good hair,
Yeah.
though. Like,
Yeah.
you could not tell.
So the top of her hair like covered.
It does,
Okay.
yeah. If you do like a little low pony, you couldn't tell it. And now it's grown back so quickly. And the scar is like non-existent anymore. So.
Oh my gosh, good.
Yeah.
Like, if Remy had that done, it would be her whole head would be bald because Remy's hair is so thin and fine.
Yeah.
But, like, Sammy has perfect hair for this.
Yeah. It did. Nobody could tell.
No.
So she missed the first 2 weeks of school with that.
Was she sad that she had missed? I know she doesn't love school,
You
but
know, she was sad. Yeah, she was because she was excited.
Yeah.
yeah, the
And
first.
then the first 2 weeks, and she went back, and everybody was already friends. And
That's hard.
yeah,
Does she have a friend in her class?
she has some friends.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah, she does. Yeah. So the headaches are just, she gets constant headaches, especially if she's running around and stuff. So
Yeah.
she, I just try to tell her to take a break. Let's breathe. Some
Right.
deep breaths in, and then normally we'll go away. But
Oh, good.
yeah.
Have the doctors ever, like, mentioned putting her on oxygen, or that wouldn't help her?
So we have oxygen at home, but she doesn't wear oxygen because the holes. Like, I'm not going to force her to wear oxygen because it'll go up like maybe 1 point.
Right. It's
So
not
it doesn't
beneficial.
really help that much. And then she's just mad that she has to wear oxygen. So she
Right.
doesn't wear it. And now if it was like super low and it wasn't coming back up, I would make her put it on. But typically if it's really low and she just sits down for a few minutes, she's fine.
Okay. What all happened? Did you say Cincinnati?
Yes.
Okay. What all happened at your last trip to Cincinnati? Like when you talked about the lung transplant?
We went up there. She had 32 doctor's appointments that week.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
It was very intense. Very
So
intense.
That's just all day, every day. Sounds
all
like.
day. Yeah.
Fall break.
Fall break. So we went up there for fall break. And
How does she deal with that? She's so little.
you know what? I bought her a lot of presents. Sammy gets what Sammy...
Sammy
Okay, you're like
is living
she's
a good life.
Sammy gets whatever Sammy wants at all times, okay?
Okay.
And I just can't even... She just asks for whatever. I'm like, okay,
Yes.
of course she can have it.
Like,
Yeah.
why am I ever going to tell you no?
Yeah.
Right.
So she got lots of presents.
Okay, good.
And so she did do... The first appointment, she got 25 vials of blood drawn.
Holy cow.
And just for tests and things. And then she had to do like physical therapy and just a bunch of little, like a 6-minute walk to see how low her oxygen dropped, which it did drop to 33. I was like, oh Lord. But, she did the whole 6-minute walk. She finished it without having to sit down. And she had a heart cath. And that was the main thing, because with a lung transplant, from what I've learned, is that they don't last forever. And the 10-year survival rate post-transplant was only 33%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you don't want to do it too soon, but you don't want to wait too long then where you might need a heart and a lung. So that basically this was just to test her heart to see if
Okay.
it's a normal heart, her heart does work harder. It beats harder than most kids her age.
Okay.
But they did do a heart cath and it came back normal.
Great.
So, but then of course, I was telling Victoria when I saw her, they did an incision right here in her groin area. That's where they went in for the heart cath. And then we got back to the hotel. She's eating her Chick-fil-A, living her best life. And then she's like, oh, it hurts really bad. I'm like, oh, okay. And then we take down her pants and she's got blood, like all down her leg. All her entire shoes covered in blood. So we have to rush back to the hospital and... They fixed it. They put gauze on it. They did what I was supposed to do. I put 0 pressure on it.
Okay.
Common sense would have been to put pressure on the incision.
Well, common sense to me is freak out and get
yeah.
her back.
Yeah. I scooped her up so
Yeah.
quick and we went straight to the hospital and then,
Yes.
So we were there for about another 2 hours. But the heart is fine. That's the most
the good
important
news.
thing. Yeah. The heart is fine. So we are definitely going to hold off on lung transplant for now.
Okay.
And I think we'll go up there yearly. And
So they
she'll
just
have
want to check
do-
in with you yearly there to see how things are going.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what keeps you on the list.
Yeah, well, we're not on the list just yet because we rescheduled some of the appointments. They just wanted to put her back to sleep the very next day. And I was like, no.
For what?
For an MRI and a CT scan. And so we're going to do that in November.
So she got to be completely asleep for the right heart cath.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
You know,
But
I
I'm
don't get to be
like-
asleep for
I
mine.
know. I've heard
Yeah.
Victoria's, and that's terrifying.
No, I was like, Sammy has to have a heart cath. Like,
Yeah.
they have got to put her
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. She gets put out for everything. I couldn't even tell you the amount of time she's been put to sleep.
Oh, wow.
Like, I couldn't even
Is she
even
just,
guess.
is she used to it? Like,
She is. I mean, she just... she if there's like a hospital bed, she's like panicking because she thinks she's spending the night. I'm like, no, we're gonna go home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she's just used to it now, which is kind of sad.
It is
She's
sad,
only
yeah.
6.
I know. Like,
But-
is she used to them taking her blood and like?
No, I mean that's a whole ordeal. Like
Yeah.
there's lots and lots and lots of tears over the blood draws. Any
Yeah.
IVs, any shots, she's not having it. But she gets through it and it's fine. You gotta hold her down. But I'm like, let's just hold her down. Let's just get it done so we can be done.
You have to. So, and she goes back in a couple months. You said
She goes back in November.
Okay.
So like in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really soon.
Yeah.
Quick turnaround this time.
Yeah. For a CT scan and an MRI. And then we're going to meet with the HHT team in Cincinnati. They have a center of excellence there. So
What will that tell y'all?
just kind of give me up. They just want to see her.
Okay.
We haven't seen them for 2 years. So
And has anyone at Vandy ever seen like a case so severe?
no, I think that Sammy puzzles people. They're
Yeah.
like, I don't know what's going on with this one. Because you would think she'd be not functioning at that low of oxygen, but
Right.
she lives her best life.
So, do not many kids have this?
I found one little girl who has almost identically what Sammy has. But this little girl has an AVM in her brain too. Sammy doesn't have that.
Okay.
And she's already gotten her lung transplant. But my heart is broken for her right now because she's in the hospital the last 2 or 3 days because I think she might be getting rejection. Yeah.
What can you do when that happens? You go back on the transplant list?
I don't know. I'm like following her story like a hawk. I'm like,
Right.
what's going on with her today?
Do you talk to her mom or do you
I
just...
have messaged her mom. Like I was like, just thinking of you guys.
Yeah.
But
How old is she, the little girl?
she is 7.
Okay.
So same age,
Where
yeah.
do they live?
They live in Michigan, I think.
Okay.
No, I'm getting them confused. I don't know where she lives because she goes to Texas. That's where she goes to all her doctor's appointments in Texas.
Okay.
There's another little girl that I follow that goes to Boston, and I think she lives in Michigan.
Did you find like a support group online?
Yeah,
or-
there's
okay.
there's a support group, yeah. So I
Okay.
just
Check them out.
check them out and see what I have in store. But both of the little girls are currently in the hospital right now, probably facing rejection, and I'm just like,
Yeah. So you're waiting because her heart's good. So
Yeah.
you don't have to be on that list just yet.
yeah. Well, we'll probably be on the list, but we'll be on the list as inactive.
Okay.
So like not needing it right now, but just gaining time on the list.
Oh, okay.
Because with lungs, it's not whoever is the sickest. It's whoever's on the list the longest.
Okay.
I would like her to be at least 10.
Okay. So you
Really,
have
I
a
would like her
goal.
to be
Yeah.
30. But
Or not needed at all.
Yeah.
yeah.
In a
Yeah.
perfect world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
There's
like her to
people
be an adult.
in my support group, again, a lung problem. So they've been on the list. Like this one girl, she had what I had since she was 4. And she's 37 and just got her lungs.
Yeah.
So
4
like,
to 37?
yeah. So she made it 33 years needing lungs, being on the list for lungs, doing yearly appointments and whatever hoops you have to jump through.
Wow.
But she made it to 37 with hers.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, she was on oxygen and it's a different condition,
Yeah.
but it can be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping she's an adult
And
for
as
sure.
well as Sammy functions, like, I don't feel like it's impossible to think she could be
Yeah.
at least a teenager.
Yeah. That's my goal for sure.
Yeah. And she doesn't take any medications for this. There's nothing
Just
to
Tylenol
take.
off her head. Well, she is. She takes an iron supplement every day now.
Okay.
But that's not. I mean, that's just because her blood's all over the place. But
How do you feel like y'all handle all this?
you know, everyone's always like, "You're so strong." I can't, you know, but like, you just have to do what you have to do
You're just
when it's your
doing it.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just getting
You
it
just-
done.
Is it like tunnel vision? Like, this is what has to be done? Like,
Yes.
can't even, like, emotionally think about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that I struggle with is I feel bad for Andrew.
Yeah.
Because like we're gone all the time with doctor's appointments and you know, he's just hanging out with my sister, which he loves. So
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, he loves hanging out with Cameron and Layla and the kids. Like had we not been in Cincinnati, well really I thought that I might bring him to Cincinnati. Well I was like, we'll go to the zoo, we'll maybe go catch a baseball game.
Right.
No fun to be had.
Yeah, no time.
Because it was 8 to 4 at the hospital every day. So there was no fun to be had.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well now you're not going, buddy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, does he ever say anything? Like, he knows she
Yeah.
needs to go to these appointments.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And Andrew's just so sweet.
He is so sweet, but he does sometimes, you know, Sammy gets whatever Sammy wants. I'm like, okay, but so do you.
right.
Right.
But also, Sammy does get away with everything, but when Andrew does it, I'm like, now Andrew, you know better.
I just learned recently that I compartmentalize really hard. So I
She
didn't,
sure does.
I didn't know if you thought you were doing that or you're just like head down, like we're just doing this.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I just feel like we're like, okay, well. And I cannot get away from the hospitals between my mom and Sammy. Like, it's just, I'm like, can we just have one normal
Yeah, because
month?
your mom
You
was
didn't
sick
have
for
a
a
normal
while.
month
Yeah.
for like years now.
Yeah,
You're in a hospital all the time.
yeah.
What were you doing with your mom?
So my mom ended up getting leukemia, and so she was very, very sick. And so she had doctor's appointments like 3 times a week at Vanderbilt. So between me and my sister and my aunt, we were just taking off work and going, and it would be all day long, and
Yeah.
it was a whole thing.
How long ago was that when she got diagnosed?
She got diagnosed with anal cancer in 2020. So we've been dealing with it since 2020, and she just passed this April.
Dang.
So 4 years
Yes.
of hospital life.
Yeah.
But plus Sammy, too.
Yeah. There was
Yeah.
one time that Sammy was having surgery, and my mom, the time that my mom went to hospice, Sammy was at the children's hospital next door getting surgery, and I'm like, okay, this is too much.
I was gonna say I'd probably lose it at that point.
I was like, okay.
That's way too much.
Yeah. Like, how do you function?
I didn't. I was like,
Like,
what
are
is
you
happening?
just like a shell?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Like,
And it's
nobody's
not
really
funny.
calm.
It's just
Yeah.
whoa. That's
And
a
I
lot.
don't really even talk about it, so it's like amazing that I'm even here talking about it, because
It
I'm just
is.
like, I just don't share Sammy's story. Like, and now I like to follow other kids that have what Sammy has, but I'm not open to like sharing, because I don't want people to feel sorry for us.
Oh, I don't take it that way at all.
Or I don't know, like I
Yeah.
just like to. I tell people like, Sammy has this going on, but let me just tell you, Sammy lives her best life.
Right.
So like, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
You know.
No, I don't see it as like feeling sorry. I feel like for me, I've never even heard of it.
Yeah.
And then especially for like a little kid, and that's just wild to me. Like,
I see what you're saying, though, because I never wanted anybody to feel sorry for me, but I was like, but I have this, and I wanted to find people, like you said, you had found people who had it. I'm like, I want to find people who have it. So then I was like, okay, let me be a person to find.
Yes. And ideally, like that would be, and if she was to get a leg transplant, which I think she eventually will, I would probably like be more like give more updates on her. But like right now, I'm just like, she's okay.
yeah.
I mean, she's
And
not,
she
but she
is.
isn't. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
she does all the things.
But I feel like you have like a good group around you, like
I do.
friends
I do.
and support.
I definitely do. And I've worked at Bella for 15 years, and so thankfully, I can kind of come and go.
Yeah.
Like they know.
Right. I
They
feel
know.
like Eden is the same way.
Yeah.
So I thought that's what
That's
you
how
had there.
these small businesses lock you in.
Yeah.
You're locked
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
because we will let you go to your appointments.
Yeah. They cannot get rid of me.
You can always be with your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, same. It seems like a really fun place to work.
It's the best.
Okay, good. I thought so.
It's the best.
Yeah.
And do you have fun being an esthetician?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you were a massage therapist for so long.
Yes.
Yeah, wait,
And
talk
this-
about that. So your massage therapy first.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. I mean, I'm
You
massaged
were
for
there.
a long time, but like,
Your body's tired.
yeah. And I would only do like 3 or 4 a day, 4 max.
And you were young when you were doing
Yeah,
that.
don't come at me with more than 4. So
Girl,
like,
the girls at Eden are doing 7.
Hey.
I know. One time I had an interview there, and Amy was like, and I was like, well, how many would they do a day? And she's like 7. I said, oh no,
Never mind.
mind.
We're
I
done.
said, I'm gonna have to work the front desk a little bit if I work here. Like, I can't do 7 a day. Absolutely not.
No.
Oh, that's crazy. So you're a massage therapist for years.
Yes.
And then you got your aesthetic license.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what all can you do at Bella with an aesthetic license? Anything?
Anything but injections.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can do all, like the
All the
hydrofacials. Okay.
Laser hair removal, tattoo removal,
Yeah.
all the things.
What's that thing you got done?
M
Oh,
Sculpt.
yeah. The M Sculpt,
Yep.
yeah.
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 That's pretty big.
That's popular?
Yeah.
Okay. You had that done after a child, right?
Yeah. She had good results.
Yeah, I did.
I
It
think her
it wasn't
before
too
and
long after Remy.
Yeah. Her before and after pictures are on our website, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
It was pretty good. You should try it. I mean, you don't really need it, but you should try it anyway.
Yeah, come on.
Look, when I
Listen,
I'll
I
do
took-
anything at Bella. I'm like, sign me up.
I took a video when I was getting it done because Jarrett came with me one
Yeah.
time. But like when it would go on me, my legs are just staying still. But Jarrett's legs in the video are like he's being electrocuted.
It is. It's strong. It's like 2 times stronger than an MRI machine.
I mean,
Oh.
it was strong, but like Jarrett's over here like looking crazy, like for real electric chair situation.
No, that makes me think of how they put those things on the guys that simulate like a period or pregnancy.
yeah.
and,
yeah,
like,
like
they can't.
contractions.
Yeah.
And you know the men, anytime. I mean, if I'm doing laser hair removal on the guys or a tattoo removal, they're the biggest babies.
They're crying.
They
Yeah.
are they're awful.
The
I'm like,
worst.
if you don't lay down, sir, and we got to get this going.
Yeah.
No, for real. I want to just ask about your pregnancies.
My pregnancies were easy. I feel like I was made to have babies. No
Yes.
more though.
Oh, okay.
No more.
Did you want to? 2
Yeah,
kids?
2.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 for sure. But they were easy. My deliveries were so
Easy
easy.
peasy.
I mean, I was induced both times, but it
You
was
got
too
to
easy.
you got to deliver vaginally, no C-section. Oh yeah, that is nice.
Yeah.
Were you sick at all?
I mean, not overly sick. I mean, a little bit. But normal sickness.
Yeah. Your personality is just so like, yeah, I can handle it. I'm good to go.
I was ready.
Yeah, I'm like, your personality's like, yeah, it just is what it is.
Yeah, like you're going to find the best in it. It's going to be good. Like, this is just what's going on. Oh, I like that.
No,
I'm like a stressor and a worrier. And
yeah, me too.
And you know what's crazy? It was like they never said anything about Sammy. Like, I had a normal pregnancy with Sammy, and then, like I said, we didn't find out till she was 3. And I'm like, well, what happened the other 3 years? Why y'all didn't find this out?
I was going to say, could they have identified it earlier?
Or was her body so small, like it was able to compensate?
Maybe so, but I also think if they would have put an ox meter on her at her well checkups, they would have probably found it.
Yeah, because I'm sure it would have been low every time, right? Like,
probably.
do they do an ox on our kids for well checks?
My kids, where I take them, yes, every time.
Man, see,
And it freaks me out too, because sometimes Mason's is like 86, and I'm like, hello.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like it. I don't like it. And they're like, just leave it on. It'll go up. I'm like, he's been sitting still for 5 minutes.
We've just been sitting here.
Why does it need to come up at all? Maybe his finger's cold. I'm like, it's July.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No, I don't like it.
I like oxygen in the 99.
Listen,
okay.
I have one in my purse, my nightstand. Do you have them all over the place?
Yes.
Me too.
We have like the big medical one too.
Oh, yeah.
So
The real one.
like the real deal. Yeah.
Wait, what's that? It doesn't go on your finger?
Like it like wraps around your finger like a sticker. Like if you were in the hospital.
Oh, I did. Okay.
Yeah, we have the big one.
Okay,
Like
I see.
if you wanted to wear it overnight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have them all over my house, and I'm always checking mine. But when Mason's out of breath, I'm like, come here.
Yeah.
I'm like, put this on your finger.
For sure.
I remember doing that during COVID, and I thought if it was like 97, I was going to freak out and make mom go to the hospital. But
Yeah.
So for me, my conditions look different. I like to be 95 and higher. So just having to come to terms with, okay, 70's a good day would really be hard for me.
Yeah. It is. It's like it is scary, no doubt. But
does she say anything about having this condition, or is she just moving on like you are? Like
her biggest thing is like, we have to go to the doctor. Why does Bubby not have to go?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to go.
Yeah, I feel like she's at that age where she can notice what other kids are doing. I mean, especially her brother. But around that age, my kids were like, there's other people that, we're divorced. She's like, there's other people that are not. And I'm like, right, there's all these different families.
Yeah.
So I feel like they really start noticing what the other kids are doing or not doing.
Yeah, like not every kid's spending their fall break at the hospital.
Yeah.
Right.
But I did ask them, we're crazy. But I said, we had a really bad fall break. And Andrew's in the back like, I didn't. I was at JJ's. So I'm like, well, I'm glad you
He was
fun.
at Hananoki with me.
Yes, he was at Hananoki. And we took him on a shopping spree. He's like, I didn't have a bad fall break. I'm like, okay, well, me and Sammy did, okay? So
We need a redo.
Yeah, I was like, where do you want to go for spring break? And, of course, Sammy's like, I want to go to the beach. And Andrew's like, I want to go to Disney. And Charlie would much rather go to the beach.
Okay.
But I'd much rather go to Disney.
Okay.
And so I'm like, Sammy, come on. I'm trying to coax her to go to Disney. But we're going to Disney.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Love that.
So
Does she have any limitations on like flying or rides or anything like
we
that?
do take oxygen on the airplane.
Okay. Does
So-
she use it?
Well, she hasn't used it. But
Okay.
we take it just in case.
Because I just had to get clearance to
Yeah.
go on my trip.
Yeah, no, she does. She has to have like a letter. Well, and then she has all those coils in her lungs too. So when she goes to the metal detector, it goes off.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, we have a letter that says she can fly and stuff. But
roller coaster, she's good.
yeah, she don't like them.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so she doesn't want to do them.
She likes some of them. She's better now. But like
Okay.
the first time we went, like she wasn't having it. She did better last time. But Andrew lives his best life because we can. Sammy gets a disability at Disney, and so we don't have to wait. We do have to wait in lines. It's not like they just cut,
And they just changed like it up a little bit.
Yeah, so we can't just cut, but we can just go in the fast lanes.
Right.
But if Sammy doesn't want to, they can do like that rider swap. So Andrew gets to ride with me, and then turn right back around and ride with Charlie. So he lives his best life.
Okay, yeah.
While Sammy's like, I don't want to ride this. Where's the princesses?
Oh,
Show me the
Well, thank you for
princesses."
this fast pass, Sammy.
Yes.
Just hang out with us real quick so we can ride this ride.
The one perk we get out of
Yes,
this.
exactly. The only perk we get out of it.
Yeah, we'll take it then.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad y'all are going.
Yeah, we're going to go.
That's not
Charlie's
much
like,
other way.
great.
He doesn't like it. Is it the crowds?
It's just like the schedule. And I'm like psycho. I'm like, okay, we gotta go. We have breakfast with the princesses at 8:30.
Right.
It's 8.
But you have to. Yeah, if you're going to
to.
have breakfast with them, then you got to go.
Yeah.
Cinderella Castle was my favorite.
Yeah. We haven't been there. That's like the one we haven't. We have never been able to get reservations for that.
You have to because all the princesses are there all dressed up and they get, all the cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do that
Yeah,
one.
I'm gonna try to go.
Okay.
I'm going to figure out what ages my kids need to be for this. I'm not brave enough yet.
Yeah.
It is a large
There's a couple
commitment.
meltdowns. But
Yeah.
they do well.
I did a stroller till I don't even know how old the kids were because all that walking. Whoa.
Yeah. Sammy will be in a stroller, no doubt.
Yeah,
No doubt.
for sure. Are y'all gonna hit all the parks?
Mm-hmm. I know. Charlie's like, can we please just go to Panama City?
We can plan a trip for that for the summer.
Yes, for sure.
Because Jarrett's off all summer now, so I just need to ask Jordan if I can be off.
Yeah. Okay.
LOL.
Yeah, no, for sure. We'll definitely do that.
The cousin trip again.
Yes.
Now that my kids are not babies.
Yeah, and Andrew will have more fun with that because when we went last summer with Cameron's baseball team, and he literally played Roblox in the condo all day. Like he's like, I don't want to, but he didn't have any friends.
Right.
Even though Mason and Remy are younger, he would still play with them.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. For
I mean,
sure.
he can be like the teacher. He's literally
Yes.
like a babysitter, and like I'm not worried about my kids when he's
And I
around.
think that's why he likes it too, because he's like, oh, I can boss them around.
Yep.
He sure can,
Yes, you can.
and
sir.
I love it too.
Yeah. Gives us a break.
Yeah. Let me
We can have
sit
our
here and
moment.
have peace.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, well, thank y'all for listening to this episode. Don't forget to follow us on our Instagram. We're going to do a giveaway pretty soon. And if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to our channels on Apple and Spotify. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.